Soundstripe. Soundstripe.
Today's Wednesday. We are just over 6 weeks out from race day, and stop my watch for a moment. Monday, I did strength work and an easy run, and then yesterday was hills with some speed intervals on the downhills, and then today is traditional hill repeats. And these are short ones today, so I'm gonna try to push it a little bit faster. Just finished my warm-up, getting ready to start the hills, and then I'll run back. And then tomorrow I actually get a rest day from running, but I'm going to do strength training. Friday I'm doing a semi-long run where I'm going to do repeats on the trails. So repeats on the trails Friday, and then Saturday I have two things, and depending on schedules I won't know probably till probably tomorrow night or Friday morning which one's going to happen. I'm supposed to help a couple of people get through their first obstacle course race at the Barbarian Challenge, but I'm also the state representative for the kidney donor athletes and their attempt to summit all the highest points in every state. So that means I am the contact person for Alabama, and they're supposed to be here, not here, but at our highest point, which is, I think, I'm trying to remember, about probably 2 hours away. So if they come in when they're supposed to, that's like 1 a.m. on Saturday, then that's where I'll be, and I will hike that summit with them, which actually would be awesome training, and I really am excited to be part of that. So, I'd like to do both things, but only one of them is going to happen. If they come in on Saturday, that will be my priority. So either way, I'll be doing something Saturday, and then Sunday I've got another long run around 20 miles, and I'll be doing just hills for that, repeats of some pretty steep hills, so I can get lots of elevation gain in. Our goal right now is really increasing the elevation gain because I'm going to need it badly. And then since I talked to you last, we've scheduled another trip out to Montana next weekend. So I am actually going to get to run several long runs out there with similar terrain, and hopefully we'll get to go out there on the race course and do a run on the actual race course, like on the back 10 miles or so, I believe. So that's going to be really awesome. It'll help me plan a little better for the actual race. So we're going to get these hill repeats done and get back home. Today is Friday, and what I'm doing is trail hill repeats. So we have a trail that we run pretty frequently that I've never done repeats on, but I have a friend who's been doing, that's really crooked. She's been doing repeats on this to prep for a big race, mountain race that she has. So I decided I would try it today. Figured it's a good opportunity. Just do some repeats up and down. I'm going to be out here for probably about 3 hours. I'm trying out a couple things. I'm working with my poles, which they're not new. They're the same ones I've had. They're super light carbon fiber, so it makes them really easy to handle, but I've got to get more practice with them. I'm also trying out my new Lululemon shoes. Let's see. So they sent me some trail shoes. I want to try them out and see if I like them. And then, of course, I'm so close to the car that I have my other shoes too, just in case these don't work. But I just came down. I'm getting ready to go back up, and they're pretty comfortable so far. So we'll see how they do. Anyway, about 3 hours out here. It's pretty warm. I've got my water. I've got some fuel for energy. And we're just going to go back and forth and enjoy the day. It's beautiful. All done. So ended up with just a little over 3 hours of hill repeats on the trail and about 11 and a half miles and just over 3,000, I think it was 3,100 feet of elevation gain. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm really happy because I actually feel like I could have kept going, but I know I've got longer stuff this weekend. This wasn't even my long run. So I'm trying to be conservative, but I'm really happy with how things feel. I mean, I ran the downs and the flats, and then I power hiked the ups, and I was very, very consistent on my times. It was interesting. It took me 11 minutes to come up every time, and it took me 8 minutes to go down every time. So I kind of was watching that, and you know, a lot of times we start out, you know, strong, and then we peter out as we get tired. And my goal was to stay steady, because that's what I'm going to need for the big race. And speaking of that, I've been this week doing a lot of research and prepping for the race. So what we usually do is I make a binder with all of the information I have, you know, the course, the aid stations, everything. I sat down and listened to an interview with the race director, which was really, really helpful and really scary. So I think I have acquired an even more, I call it a healthy fear of the race. So we have 6 weeks from today. And I feel like it was like the appropriate time for me to watch that, because I watched the video and it scared me a little, and it like got me pumped up at the same time. So that made me realize that this is absolutely what I should be doing, because it was like, hey, you gotta get your crap together. This is not a joke. So getting that together is what kind of pushed me today. Like, all I kept thinking about was, this is going to prepare you for what you have coming up, and you just have to keep at it. So there never was any doubt. I mean, if anything, like I said, I wanted to go longer. So I feel like that's the motivation I needed, was watching that and getting a little more scared of what's coming up, because it's a course that it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough, you know, under 36 hours. That is the time cutoff, and as long as I'm under 36 hours, I am content. So I'm really excited about it. And this weekend I've got lots of fun stuff coming up. I'm hoping to do a big hike tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear back from the group that is doing it, and I'm hoping if it's at a decent time, I might actually stay and do the hike again. Running down and like hiking up, and see, kind of make it my long run down there, because it's a different spot that I never get to run in, and I thought it'd be kind of fun. So anyway, it went really well. I'm happy with how this week is going, and things are great. So we're at Mount Cheaha and waiting for the kidney donor athletes group to get here. And we're going to run to the top, to the highest point in Alabama, which is up the trail that we lovingly call Blue Hell. And it lives up to its name. So I'll be doing that with them, and then continuing on up there to get my long run in, because I don't get to run down here very often. So it's kind of cool to be down here to get some miles in. So we'll be starting probably in the next 15-20 minutes or so, up to the top of Alabama. Okay, so we made it to the top of Cheaha with a hike, a super, super fast hike. He about killed me. So we're at the top. They've already taken off for Mississippi, and I am going to continue on to get some more miles in since I drove out here. So we're gonna head out a little bit and then head back down. This morning we're just out on the roads. We're gonna do 10 miles of hills, and that will wrap up my training for this week. I'm ready for just strength tomorrow, no running, and then a big week towards the end of the week as we head to Montana and get to do some running actually out in the mountains and on the course. It's been a great week. I'm excited about how things are going and how I'm feeling.